Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me live from the First Alert 6 Alert Center. I'm Erin Sullivan, joining you from our streaming center this evening and not on the television because NBC is airing the beginning of the NBA season right now. We've got back-to-back games, and so we are going to be on TV later on this evening, but it's going to be a late broadcast. We're going to be on 11:30, if not later, whenever the Golden State Warriors game versus the Lakers wraps up. We will have an edition of First Alert 6 for you. But in the meantime, I did want to bring you some of the top headlines that we are following this evening as we continue to gather more headlines for you before 11:30. One of the big stories that we've been following this evening is an update to a burglary that happened last Thursday. It led to shots being exchanged between police and a suspect. And tonight, Omaha police did share the names of the officers that were involved in this. Their names are Jamel Ross and Andrew Wolf. Police also told us that the man that was shot in this exchange, the suspect, that was 55-year-old Dean Weiss, will have charges pending against him, and he is expected to be charged once he is released from the hospital. He was shot and injured in this exchange. So let's go back to how this all started. The shooting happened early Thursday morning around 2 o'clock. That's when police were first called out to the area of 152nd and Spencer for a report of a burglary. When officers arrived, police say that the suspect had broken the back patio door of this home and then gone inside. And then officers say a few minutes later, once they got there, a man came out of the front door of the home and he was pointing a gun at them. Police actually shared a photo with us of an individual pointing a gun at them. Now, this led to officers exchanging gunfire with this man, and the officers were not injured, but the suspect, who was later identified as Weiss, was injured in this exchange. So again, those officers were identified today, and we were also told that body camera footage, cruiser footage, and camera footage from the police helicopter overhead was all reviewed, in addition to statements from the officers' interviews, and all of that added up to witness statements, and that is why they're going to proceed with charging Weiss once he is released from the hospital. They also said that the Douglas County Attorney's Office has been consulted on this investigation, and we expect to continue to get additional updates on this case. Another big story that we've been following for a few weeks now has been an update to the Omaha City homeless ordinance. Today, the Omaha City Council voted on this finally, and they voted it down. Now, this proposal was to outlaw homeless encampments on public property. Basically, the ordinance would have made camping on public property a misdemeanor. Now, even if the ordinance passed, Mayor John Ewing said during a town hall last night that he was going to veto it. He felt like this was going to make being homeless essentially illegal. And other city council members had some words to say about that, disagreeing with that today. But in the end, 2 council members voted for the ordinance today, while the other 5 voted against it. And so because of that outcome, Mayor Ewing is going to implement his own plan. His idea, which he's been pushing since this proposed plan came out in the first place, is to devise a pilot program to bring together all of the agencies that help the homeless in the city. What they plan to do is to spend some time identifying the different areas where these homeless encampments continue to pop up time after time. Then they want to issue 7 to 10 day notices to vacate these properties before then going in and closing down the camps. Then whatever people are still remaining living in these camps, they want to help them find resources and possibly even new housing options. The mayor has also talked about adding new staff members to help continue to address the issue of homelessness and homeless encampments in the city. This is a story First Alert 6 has done extensive reporting on over the years, and will continue to follow up on to see how the mayor's plan is implemented in the months to come. Now, if you ran into a closure on Highway 75 today, this is another story we've been tracking throughout the day. This is what happened. We learned some new details this afternoon. Authorities told us that one person was flown to the hospital after a really bad crash. We're told that the wreck involved two semi-trucks on Highway 75. This was near Plattsmouth. And our crew on scene saw the semi-trucks in a ditch south of the Webster Boulevard overpass. Our partners at the Casgram reported that the Cass County Sheriff's Office's preliminary investigation indicated that a semi driving southbound veered into the northbound lanes after the driver suffered a medical episode. And so that is when the medical helicopter had to be flown in, and they had to shut down this whole area while they conducted this rescue to get this individual to the hospital. So the whole area shut down during this emergency response. Sad situation. We don't know the update on their condition at this time, but that is why these lanes were shut down. So those are a few of the stories that we've been tracking this evening. Another one I did want to give you a first alert to that we've been tracking this evening is that boxing champion Terrence Bud Crawford is actually back in Omaha tonight. It's the first time in the 3 weeks since the city of Omaha threw him that big parade, and then subsequently, just the morning after that, he was pulled over by Omaha police. It's the first time in the 3 weeks since all of that happened that he's been back in the city of Omaha. Now, he didn't want to talk about the traffic stop. Instead, tonight, he was being honored by a community organization, and he really just wanted to focus on that. A lot of people turned up for this event, and we're really excited to see him. And so we did have a reporter out there tonight speaking with Bud, and we'll be bringing you that story for our late edition of First Alert 6, which will be going on around 11:30 or so as soon as that NBA game wraps up. So that'll do it for me here at the Alert Center, and we hope to see you for our late edition of First Alert 6 on air.